Complete the following table, and which gives certain information about various rectangles. A rectangle, by its definition, is what? Gavin, what is a rectangle?
Shape with two sides, but two sets of even sides. Okay,
it's a four-sided shape where two of the lengths, one length, it has two pairs of two different lengths. So two of them are the same length as each other, and the other two are the same length as your two. What did you say? Much more gracefully than I did?
Two sets of different lengths.
Two sets of different lengths, right? Now, example would be, guys, number 4. Number 4 has 20 and 15. What does area mean? Area means what, Harry? Area is length by width. If you were to mow the lawn at home of a garden, area means that you have covered every blade of grass in this rectangle. That's what the area means, okay? So, the area, as Harry rightly said, is length multiplied by width always. What is the length multiplied by the width for this one? 20 by 15, which is? 300. 300 what?
Meters squared.
Meters squared. Stephen? Guys, breadth is the same thing as width. They basically mean the same thing. Length by width gives you 300. Now the perimeter, if I was to ask you to run a lap, that's what perimeter is. So for example, if I said to Ryan, if you're here, okay, and I asked you to run a lap, and it's 15, 20, 15 and 20, how far would you have to run?
70 meters.
70 meters. 15 plus 20 is 35, plus another 15 is 50, plus another 20 is 70. 70 meters. Now, moving on, okay. The next one is in questions 7 to 12. Find the area and perimeter of squares. Joey, what exactly is a square?
Square is
four-sided object where?
All the lines are equal.
All the sides are the same length. So for example, in question 10, it's 12 meters by 12 meters. What is the area of this object? What is the area of the square, Joey?
144.
You said 144, which is 12 by 12, which is 144 meters squared. Okay. Garrett, what is the perimeter? 12 4 times, isn't it? 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12. That's the same thing as multiplying 4 by, which is 48 meters. You can see, very easy. Moving on to harder ones. Okay, what we want to do is Orson was asking me, what do the tiny squares represent? It represents that it's a 90-degree angle. The small little squares here represent a 90-degree angle. It means that these objects represent rectangles. Now, what I'm going to do for you here is we're going to do the hard one, which is number 15. And we're going to see how we get on with number 15 first. So Orson, can you tell me, when we zone in on number 15 only, which is this one here, can you first of all tell me what is the perimeter of number 15? So you're here, you start off here, and you have to start running around the full building.
6.
Okay? So that's what you got to do. So you're going to go 6 plus
5.
5.
Plus 5.
Now, what's this length here?
5.
Where'd you get that from?
6 plus 4 minus 15.
Okay guys, full length from here to here is 15. From here to here is 6. From here to here is 4. Therefore you take away 6 and 4, and what you get? 5. Okay, we'll stop you there, Orson. Orson is now down here at the blue man. Okay, we'll start off with Joey. Joey, what's next?
Plus 5.
Plus 5, yeah.
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
Plus 8.
Plus 8.
Plus 15.
Plus 15.
Plus 8.
Plus another 8. And finally, what does all that add up to? Let's count the 5s. 5, 10, 15, 30. So we got 30. 6 and 4? 10 gives me the 40. 8 and 8? 56. 56 is in meters. What does the question say? Answers are in centimeters. So 56 centimeters. Now, lads, tricky one here. I want you to get the area of this figure. We'll go for Sean.
Could you make it into a full rectangle?
How many rectangles?
Like what, just make, there's a gap.
Alright, there's two different methods going to be used here. So Sean's going to use one method. Sean is going to complete the full rectangle starting off. So what Sean's going to do is, Sean is basically saying, I'm going to get the full rectangle here. Okay, and that's a good way of doing it. We'll start off your way, Sean. So what's the area of the full rectangle?
15 multiplied by 8.
15 multiplied by 8, which is 120 centimeters squared. Sean, what are you going to do then?
Well, you have to take away the area.
Take away the green rectangle. What's the area of the green rectangle?
15 centimeters.
Not 15.
20 centimeters.
It's 5 by 5. We said earlier that's 5 because 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 gives you the 15. So what's 5 by 5?
25.
And then finally 25. 120 minus 25? 95 centimeters squared. Good way of doing it, because somebody else gave me a different method for the same question. We'll go for Toma, please.
Well, you sort of cut up the rectangle. So
Into how many rectangles would you like me to cut it up into?
3.
3. Okay, so I'm assuming you want me to go here and here. There's actually another way you could slice it up as well, but we won't go there. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it that way. Alright, but we won't do it that way, okay? Now, what is the area of rectangle A? We'll call it rectangle A.
Okay. So the area would be
6 by
8,
which is
48.
48, okay? Now we're going to go for area B, which is going to be
Which is 5 times 3.
5 times 3. Now, Tom, where did you get that 3 from? You're correct, but I'd like to know where you got it from.
If one side is 5 over there,
Yeah.
and the other side is 3, you just minus.
Yeah, if that was a 3, then it'd make the 8. Yeah. So 5 by 3?
15.
15. Area B is 15 centimeters squared. And finally, area C, which is
4 times 8.
4 times 8, which gets me
32.
32. Add them all together, and what do we get? 95 centimeters squared. Okay, guys, you're pretty good at this already. Move on. Now, calculate the area of the following triangles. Now, triangles is real for triangles. It's called a half base multiplied by height. The bases are always the bottom ones, and the heights always go straight up. So for number 16, what would be the answer for the area of this triangle? A half 10 by 8. And what does that get me, Stephen?
80.
80 divided by 2? 40 centimeters squared. What about number 18, Andrew? Number 18. A half.
10.
The base is 6. And the height is 10. What does that get me?
60.
60 divided by 2?
Yeah,
30 centimeters squared. Perfect. Alright, guys. Now, onto harder triangles. Now, these harder triangles. Okay. Now, what we're going to do with this one, number 19. Okay, what's number 19? Can anybody tell me? A half. Joey?
So a
Half. 92 by?
by 50.
Oh yes, because it's in centimeters and millimeters aren't the same thing. So what we might do is we might divide millimeters by 10. And what happens when you divide millimeters by 10? You get 9.2 centimeters. 9.2 multiplied by 5? Anybody? We're probably going to have to do that out, aren't we? So 5 by 9.2? Hands up. Arson. 46. 46 divided by 2? What you get? 23. Connor?
do it the way the Joey said?
Just do the millimetre squared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does the question ask you for a centimetre squared? In the question, does the question describe it? So it says centimetre squared. So you need to do the centimetre squared. Now lads, here's a hard one. Number 21. Can anybody describe how to do number 21 for me? Imagine this. We flip it around and it now looks like this. How would you now do number 21? What's the base? 27. A half, 27. What's the height? 8. They put in that number 20 to confuse you. Okay? The height has to be going directly up from the base. And then a half, 27 times 8 is going to be 4 times 27, which will give me 8 carried to 2, 108 centimetres squared. Right, moving on. Yes, Arson. To tell that something's the base, okay, what I could do is I could construct a triangle, and on this triangle, what I could do is this. Alright, and I'll give you this height here, and I call that 10. I say that's 10, that's I don't know, that has to be bigger, 15, this one has to be bigger again, which would be 23, and this one could be 25. Now, what I can do here is, I can pair this up, and I can spin it around to try and make us a bit more confused. Maybe something like that. Now, when I do it like that, a lot of people think 23 is the base, yeah? Now, if 23 is the base, I'd have to use this height. Oh, sorry, I'll do it in green. I'd have to use this height here. So when you're looking for the base, it's always when you're looking for the base, right? See this line here? See this line? What's the angle opposite that line? This angle here. You need that line going directly down into that one there. That would be the height you need to use that one as the base. So when you're choosing your base and your height, you have to make sure that the height goes in and hits the base at 90 degrees. Okay. Now these ones here, guys, these are parallelograms. Can anybody explain to me what is a parallelogram made up of? Harry. An L-shaped rectangle. It can also be described as what? Two identical triangles. Now, if the area of a triangle is a half base by height, would you agree with that? What is the area of two triangles together? Just going to be the base by the height. So the area of all rectangles is base multiplied by height. Now in this question here, the base is going to be what? 4 meters by, which gives me 24 meters squared. What about the next one? What's 12 millimeters in centimeters? 12 centimeters. 13 by 12? 13 by 12?
156.
156 centimeters squared. Finally, last one. This one here. Now, do you see the way I rotate it around, Orson? See the way it's now hitting at 90 degrees? What's the base by height for this one? By? Just 77 meters squared. Alright guys, for homework tonight, you're going to do the evens from 2 to 22. Evens. No, it's not a half. It's a full for a parallelogram. It's base by height, not a half base by height.